relief from some of this suffering around these environmental issues. And instead of getting relief, we just get more issues. And and we always say, we don't work on the clock in the community because, everybody, your agency may run from 9 to 5, but at 5 o'clock, the crap don't stop. It just keeps going. So we have to stay on the job, 24/7. We can't get any rest, and we certainly don't get a chance to, just take a real break. And, but anyway, I just need to say that because, it's just kind of the tensions in the room kind of building. But that's what happens when you start addressing problems that people have been dealing with over and over and over and over and never getting any relief. And I'm not apologizing for us because this is what you get. And maybe if you come more often, it will cool down. Maybe, I think. But at any rate, we do appreciate your taking your time out of your trip to North Carolina to stay here, even to come to the Hayti Center and to be able to hear what communities have to say about what we're dealing with. Now, one of the things I was telling you today as I sat and listened over at NIHS, and I kept hearing all these EJ strategies and EJ plans, and I'm sitting there thinking, okay, so I'm listening to all these strategies and all these plans, but where's the action? What are you really going to do? And what is what you're doing now? How much of a difference is that going to make to the communities that I work with as a community organizer that the North Carolina Environmental Justice Network work with as an organization that's concerned about what's happening to people, our people in North Carolina. And I'm just really, it bothers me because I started thinking back to when President Clinton signed his executive order and everybody got overjoyed thinking we was going to get some relief. And then here, this was in 1994, if I'm not mistaken, and we in 2012, and we haven't seen one single change in North Carolina as a result of that executive order. And so I was sitting in the room today wondering, how is all of this stuff that y'all telling us going to really make a difference to us? I need to know that. I need to know how, all these EJ strategies and plans on this paper, what is it going to do? I have an answer for you. I don't know if you want to do it, but I said, what needs to happen, all of y'all, all of these federal agencies need to come back to North Carolina and just move in on our state government who they don't do their job and they totally ignore anything that the people say to them. Any information that, first of all, as communities suffering at the hands of big dollar, we shouldn't have to prove what's happening to us. Shouldn't have to prove that the air stinks, that the water's bad, that people's health is going bad, that our children are suffering from higher rates of asthma and on more medication, missing more time out of school because somebody wanted to make a profit. We shouldn't have to prove that. When you look at the things that's being done, it's almost like automatic. If somebody take your waste and spray it in the air at your house, what you think gonna happen in there? And that's the way I tell people to think about it. We talking about 10, well now I found out we got 16 million homes. We've been saying 10 million, so we was cheating ourselves. And that these 10 million was producing 19 million tons of waste per year that's sprayed around in the air and on the land, sprayed in the air because they take the waste out of the lagoons and use it as fertilizer on crops around the community. So they're spraying this animal waste out on people. And if you're out there and the wind is blowing, it's going to drift over. You know how if it's raining and the mist comes, the wind get it, it's going to take it further than it normally would go. Well, that's what's happening with this animal waste. They spraying this stuff out onto what they call spray fields. And but the spray field could be here, and my house is right here. So there's no way for me to get out the line and find it. And that's what's happening with the community. And then we got this landfill. How many of y'all went on a tour this morning to Rogers Eubanks Road? Could you believe what you saw? That somebody could do this to people? And I'm telling you, I get pissed off, and you know, it just really pisses me off. I'm saying, how the hell you do this to human beings? What gives you the right to do this? And how can you do this and just think you should be okay? Nobody should do anything to you. And y'all heard me say earlier today, I went to Rio, and we did a blog about Smithfield and its behavior, and then we get back the next morning, turn on the computer, Smithfield responded to the blog saying that what the person wrote about what the story I told, that it wasn't true, that they were environmentally sound, and that they had not been fined one time this year for discharge. Well, how you going to be fined for discharge when they have permitted you as a non-discharging agency, but you producing 19 million tons of haul waste, spraying it in the air, keeping it in lagoons, seeping in the groundwater, and you not a discharging agency? I'm telling you, we got criminal behavior going on in North Carolina, and the DOJ and everybody else need to do something about it. And I tell people all the time, I said, this is criminal behavior. We couldn't do this. If you want to set this system at your house, you got to go through all these stringent rules. And if you don't follow those rules, you don't get to put your septic tank in. Well, how the hell are they going to get to dig all these holes in the ground, fill it up with hog crap, and then spray it out on people? That's just unreal, and it's criminal behavior. And too bad the DOJ had to leave. But I'm sure we'll get the word to them again. But anyway, I'm not going to fuss at y'all because y'all playing nice tonight, so I'm going to be nice too. So. Anyway, all I have to say, as a community organizer, I'm out all the time when communities are having issues. They call on North Carolina's Environmental Justice Network. We need to stop whatever we're doing. We would change our agendas. We change our plans. You know, as a matter of fact, Gary and them still can't believe I'm standing here talking to y'all tonight because my youngest daughter and two of my granddaughters just came into town last Wednesday to visit me from Philadelphia. They have to leave Saturday, and I'm giving 3 of my days to y'all, so I expect something different to happen. I will be the one calling on you for to get back my time with my grandchildren. So, but anyway, having said all of that, you've heard all the stories. Mr. Dozier here, to take one community, you're going to give a dog pound, you give a waste treatment center, a transfer station, landfills on top of landfills, then you're going to lie about the next landfill you want to put in there, call it new when it's an expansion, and the only reason they was calling it new is to get around that solid waste bill that you heard Attorney Sean Patel talk about this morning that passed in 2007 that says, they can't build new landfills in North Carolina. And so the companies have gotten very slick. So they, instead of saying they building a new landfill, they call them expansions. Well, Mr. Dozier's community is the second community since that bill passed that we've had them work with and help, the community try to defend themselves. White Street up in Greensboro, companies there wanted to put another landfill, reopen the landfill, but they said it was a new landfill so they could get around the law that says, they said it was an expanded landfill so they could get around the law of it being a new landfill, and that way they get to try to put it in. But fortunately for that, our communities have the North Carolina Environmental Justice Network, who was the advocate, partner, and fighter in that battle for that bill to let our communities know that this bill exists if they don't already know it, that this bill exists and they can use this bill to try and defend themselves. And then we have Peter Gilbert in the room, and I have to acknowledge Peter, who's the EJ partner, but Peter is also a lawyer, attorney at the UNC Civil Rights Law Center. who we can call on and say, Peter, we have a community in trouble that needs some legal help. Can you come? And I will tell you, Peter drops whatever he's doing, and I say, can you meet me there at such and such? And we get on the road and go about our business. I call all of us road warriors, okay? And I tell people, yeah, I'm a road dog because I go anywhere, anytime. It don't matter to me about the hour. If a community is calling, I will stop what I'm doing to go. And if I get home at 9 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, it don't matter to me. I just go and do what I have to do. And but at any rate, until we can get some relief in this state, I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe the next time y'all come out of NIEHS, that might be the only place left standing in North Carolina. So, you know, we really do need to do something. And I'm not going to wait on your time and your patience because I know you've been here a long time and I haven't said half of what I want to say, but that's okay. If you need to talk to me, I'll be around. And then I guess the last thing, my last message, I made a note here to, I think they call you Lieutenant Milan. Ron. Yeah, Ron Milan.
Milam. Yeah, Milam.
And so my little note, I think I can see it. Somebody asked, what could your agency do? And I said, put an announcement on your website. And I'm trying to read. Okay, to put an announcement that all of your concerned federal agencies are coming to North Carolina to shut this state down.
Oh God. Oh, we did.
And the last thing I say along with that was that there's a person we was working with. One time we had the Pew Charitable Trust to bring an agricultural commission to North Carolina because they want to talk about the CAFO issues in North Carolina. So community members showed up in numbers to testify at that hearing. And when we told the story about the North Carolina hog industry, the commission was so caught off guard by it, and they could not believe what they was hearing. So they set aside their agenda for the next 3 days, and they stayed in North Carolina. And we were able to take them down to do a ground tour of where these animals are so they could see firsthand what people were dealing with. And then the River Keepers, who is a coalition partner of ours, have an area air force, so they were able to take them in the air so they could see an area view of what North Carolina looks like in these areas where these animals are. And they could not believe it. And so Bob Martin just said, you know, North Carolina has a broken system that can't be fixed. And so all these EJ programs and plans and strategies, honestly, unless y'all come in and overhaul our government, it's not going to do any good. I just don't see, because these folks are not willing to make a change. They ain't willing to give up these dollars they get from these industries that they let them come in here and do what they want to do. And I was telling you about Peter Gilbert. Peter, anyway, so Peter has become a road warrior as well. And he's been working directly with Mr. Dozier and his community. And they went down, and we've been bragging and laughing about it. Because, you know, these people in North Carolina, they used to run over top communities, just doing what they want to do. But they didn't have any idea what they had met up with when they went down to Supply. And so, Supply, the government, the local government there was caught off guard because they had put an animal shelter there, they hadn't got anything. They put the waste treatment center and sewer plant, nothing happened. They put that, they allowed the sand mines to go on and nothing had happened. So when the people began to fight this landfill, it really caught them by surprise, but they still thought it's okay. They just don't mean nothing. But then Peter came down, him and Elizabeth, from the Civil Rights Law Center, and let me tell you, they went in court with that planning board and made them look like the idiots that they are. So anyway, that's what we need to happen a lot in North Carolina. We ask you federal agencies to please think about all that you've heard, and as you put your plans and strategies down on paper, put some human faces to that paperwork. And if you need to come back to North Carolina, we would gladly take you anywhere you want to go, let you see all you need to see. Because if it exists, an environmental injustice is in North Carolina. Thank you.